Marvel Rivals has two main villains, Doctor Doom and Doctor Doom of 2099. But what if there was a third villain? A villain who is more powerful than them all. A villain who could take down the Dooms and take over all of the worlds. That villain is Knull, and this is the story of Marvel Rivals. In order to explain why Knull could be the next main villain in Marvel Rivals and take over the mantles from Doom and Doom 2099, we must first explain who is Knull. Well, Knull was an eldritch god of darkness and the creator of the Symbiotes. While residing in a primordial void that existed between the 6th and 7th cosmos, he was awakened when the Celestials invaded his kingdom of darkness with light. Knull was chosen by the Celestials to serve as the King in Black, but he rejected the responsibility. With the first symbiote in the form of a sword, he decapitated one of them and used its severed heads to find power to refine the blade, linking both Knull and the NECROSWORD to the fallen cosmic god. Waging war against the light to return the universe to the void, Knull became a legendary figure of divine terror, but eventually found himself stranded on a nameless planet after an inhabitant stole his blade and unwittingly followed in his footsteps. He experimented with his powers and discovered he could bond with the living abyss, with lesser creatures, in the form of an amorphous parasites that he could control. Now we have Knull's backstory, who he is, where he originated from, why he's in darkness. We can move on to how he affects the Marvel Rival story. Is he after one person in particular? Is there multiple people he wants? And who is he infected with his darkness? Well, starting off, we know that Black Panther has had direct conversations with Knull. And we know this because Knull has infected BAST, the god that T'Challa speaks to, BAST who guides him. Knull has infected her, and we know this through the story. In blind devotion, T'Challa was speaking to BAST, saying, "I've always been loyal to you," in which BAST responded, "Then prove yourself. Swear that you serve only me and will strike down all those who oppose my cause. Do so, and I shall grant you unlimited power." And at this moment, in his mind's eye, T'Challa saw a vision of the heart-shaped herb used to grant Black Panther his enhanced abilities. Instead of its usual gentle purple glow, it now burned a fiery crimson. T'Challa's deepest fears were now confirmed. At this moment, Bast growled into T'Challa's ear, "Pledge yourself to me, boy." T'Challa ripped off his blindfold, breaking his connection with the goddess. There, in the rippling water in front of him, he swore he saw an image of his goddess warped and twisted, stained red and black, with a repulsive aura beyond anything he had ever felt. T'Challa's sister Shuri also had her own concerns with Bast, and this is because she had concerns due to Bast speaking to her in her dreams, but it didn't sound like the familiar Bast that she thought of. It sounded different, more of a corrupt Bast that was coming to her that she hadn't had before. But shortly after Bast had spoken to her, she discovered a dark energy that flared up at the edge of the known universe shortly after Bast had spoke to her in her sleep. So she called on her closest friends, her closest allies to Wakanda, and one of them are the Guardians of the Galaxy. So she sent them on this journey to investigate this source of dark energy onto the home planet Clintar. And what do we know about Clintar? This is the home of the Symbiotes. And who created the Symbiotes? That, of course, is Knull, god of the Symbiotes. But what exactly does he want? And did he trick Shuri into sending the Guardians of the Galaxy to Clintar? Who does he want? Or more likely, what is he going to do with them? Well, stay tuned and I'll explain that in a little bit. In the main full storyline video that I previously created, I mentioned that Venom glimpsed a future that was horrific, and he only had two options. The first option being to trap Knull, the god of the Symbiotes, on Clintar and imprison him and take his throne, or to kill him and put an end to him once and for all. And we know that Venom is trying to do this, and he knows one way that he can, and that is by using Knull's own NECROSWORD against him, which could kill him and putting an end to him. So where can he find this from? Well, we see the little glimpse of the Celestial in the trailer, and we know in Venom's lore, it specifically says that long ago, Knull wielded a mighty blade known as All Black, the NECROSWORD. It was said that he had once used this weapon to strike down a Celestial, one of the oldest and most powerful cosmic entities in the known universe. Stories claim that Knull triumphed, but the NECROSWORD was lost in the fray. And we know that this was still in the Celestial, and Venom was trying to pull it out. But that went on to his meeting with Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is someone who also had communications with Knull. As Adam Warlock was in his protective shell, he passed through different time and different realities. At first, he heard Odin talk to him. He was in Odin's sleep, and one of the things Odin said was very, very interesting. He said, you two are preparing for a battle when you awake, Golden One, and while my son may indeed test your mettle, he is naught but a distraction for your true enemy. There is a darkness in the cosmos, one far deeper than our slumbers. I have felt it trying to creep its way into my realm, even in my own dreams. Should it be set loose, I fear that it will corrupt all it touches, snuffing out the stars themselves until nothing remains. And as he passed from Odin and the Yggdrasil, he came to the intergalactic empire of Wakanda. When he first heard BAST say, you came a long way to die. And as he spoke more to her, BAST said, this time stream entanglement has brought us together from across a multitude of planes. What is left of each universe is converging into one, as if we have been gathered. Gathered for what? Adam thought. For the feast, the BAST snarled. Her final words into his mind, it came clear that her divine presence had somehow been corrupted, just as T'Challa thought, just as Shuri has thought. Could this be the person that has tainted her? The very same darkness that Odin has warned Adam of? In no way of knowing, he continued deeper into the heart of the strange patchwork galaxy. He then came across a Celestial, and again, as he was speaking to the Celestial, he came across something even more interesting. The Celestial said, as you know, we Celestials were born at the beginning of all that is, but we were not the first. There was a primordial force that came before us, a creature of pure darkness, so powerful that he could strike down any who threatened to shed light upon the endless oblivion he ruled. Few can wrap their minds around his nativity, and yet here I am, slain by his sword, with nothing left of me but an empty husk and the echoes of a consciousness. So think about what was just said. This Celestial, who has been slain by this darkness person's sword. Now, do you remember what I said earlier? Knull killed a Celestial with his first, symbiote, which was his NECROSWORD. The NECROSWORD was still stuck in him, and that's the same NECROSWORD that Venom was talking about. The NECROSWORD that can take him out. This is the Celestial that Knull first killed. So, after this conversation, Adam thought that there was more than just the remains of a fallen Celestial in the void beyond his cocoon. He could sense that now. There was also a hint of corruption, not unlike the one that tainted BAST, but this was not found in the disembodied mind of the slaughtered Celestial. Rather, it lingered on the great being's lifeless body, like an infected sore that had been festering for millennia. The Celestial said, you feel him too. His tainted touch has stained my course for eons, but now, as time collapses around us, he has awoken once more, eager to revel in the oncoming oblivion. I have called out to others like you, great cosmic forces, ancient warriors, even the gods themselves, for the help in containing his eternal blackness. But they've either retreated or succumbed to his poison. Perhaps you will fare better. As he was leaving the Celestial, he heard the Celestial scream a final warning. Beware, child of light, he has found you. Who has found him? But another voice did, with a tone 1,000 times darker than the blackness within his cocoon. Knull. As he spoke his own name, it was Knull speaking to him. The ruler of the void, the king in black, had awakened somewhere and was dragging Adam towards him. Trying as much as he could to escape, Adam could not escape his grip. Do not give up hope, child, the Celestial said. You will not be alone. Who will be helping Adam? Well, we know on Clintar, we've got Groot, Rocket, and Star-Lord, and we'll come to them in just a moment. What had once been a blinding light for Adam, now darkness and despair had slithered their way in. He was overcome with images of the horrors that Knull had once committed, and those he had yet to unleash upon the universe. He could see his past and his future, but what about his present? That, it seemed, was shrouded in a mystery, a void greater than Knull himself. Adam woke up and saw that he was on the planet Clintar, the planet of Symbiotes. It was here that Knull was once worshipped as a god. It was here that his own followers imprisoned him eons ago, and that he was here biding his time, regaining his strength in the hopes to break free and claim his prize once more. However, Adam broke free first, and he made a vow to not do anything in his power to make sure that his infinite blackness would not go unchecked. In the beginning there was darkness, but in the end there will be light, and Adam shall be the one to help it shine. So we know Knull is trying to regain his power, he's already becoming stronger, infecting and corrupting the gods. But what does he want with the Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, on their scouting mission to Clintar, when they crashed, their ship was actually shot down by Clintar's Dark King, Knull. And why was this happening? Well, he wanted to corrupt Groot's regenerative powers in an effort to cultivate the ultimate symbiote. So Knull wants Groot. He, at the moment, is the key to his next steps of his plan, making the ultimate symbiote. If he gets his hands on Groot and corrupts him and can do this, then it's not going to look good for our team in Marvel Rivals going forward, when we have Doom and Doom 29 to face, and now we have Knull infecting the gods and doing whatever he wants. I want you to go down into the comment section and comment if Knull will be the true villain of Marvel Rivals, or will he just be a secondary villain that gets, defeated quite early on. I'm hoping that he'll be a bigger true villain, like Doctor Doom and Doctor Doom of 2099. But you guys let me know down in the comment section, and if you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If there's anything I've missed from Knull or his storyline or any other mentions, then please comment down below to let me know and other people watching the video so it's not been missed. But yeah, I've been Az, you guys have been awesome. I'll see you in the next one. This is the story of Marvel Rivals.